Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Savannah Chrisley making big move away from parents. Savannah Chrisley has been working tirelessly to free her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, from prison since 2023. The couple was sentenced to a combined 19 years of prison after being found guilty of federal fraud charges and hiding their wealth from tax authorities. However, the couple was given a presidential pardon early this year, returning home to their family. Now their daughter, Savannah, is ready to move on to different things. Keep reading to find out more. Savannah Chrisley shares big announcement. Savannah Chrisley has been caring for her two youngest siblings, her sister Chloe and brother Grayson. The reality star was given custody of her two youngest siblings when her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, went to prison for federal fraud charges. Recently, Chrisley shared her plans for the future now that her parents are home from prison, after receiving a presidential pardon earlier this year. Chloe and Grayson are back with their parents, leaving Savannah independent again. In addition, the reality star shared, Savannah Chrisley is moving on. She is ready to start her life as an independent woman. It is time she starts a life independent of her siblings and parents. Savannah is nearly 30 years old, and she is seeking her own space. The reality star spoke out on how overwhelming the last few years have been for her. Savannah Chrisley is moving away from her family. Savannah Chrisley shared that she has made a big move to Nashville, TN. She explained that she has gotten a place there. In addition, the reality star is even bringing in someone to design the space. In addition, Savannah is partnering with a furniture brand to fill the space. She teased some photo updates for fans, she said. Savannah Chrisley is excited for her Nashville move. After securing her condo and setting it up perfectly, she is ready to move in. In addition, she will be able to get into a routine and have healthier habits. However, not everyone is excited to see Savannah moving on. The reality star explained. Savannah Chrisley had always been known for her grit and boldness, but this time, the decision she was about to make was bigger than any hairstyle change, business launch, or reality TV clapback she'd ever done. This was a life-altering shift, one that would take her miles away from the constant gravitational pull of her family drama and into uncharted territory. For months, whispers had floated through the grapevine, friends hinting that Savannah was quietly looking at properties, business contacts noticing her asking about tax laws in other states, and even Chloe, her little sister, spilling in a TikTok live that Savannah's been on Zillow more than Instagram lately. The truth was, Savannah wasn't just looking for a new place to live. She was looking for a whole new life. Todd and Julie Chrisley, her parents, were still serving their prison sentences, and though Savannah had been a rock for the family, especially for Chloe, she couldn't shake the growing ache in her chest. The media, the public judgment, the never-ending legal updates. It all weighed on her like a chain she didn't ask to wear. Every phone call from reporters, every Instagram comment from strangers who claimed to know the real story, was like another reminder that she was tethered to the chaos. But Savannah was a Chrisley, and Chrisleys didn't just run. They planned, they strategized, they made a move with style. It all began in a quiet coffee shop in Franklin, Tennessee. She sat at a corner table with her laptop open, sipping her almond milk latte while flipping through listings. But she wasn't looking locally. No, this search was far from home. Places like Austin, Dallas, Scottsdale, and even Charleston popped up on her screen. She wanted somewhere with sunshine, space, and most importantly, privacy. Somewhere she wouldn't be Todd Chrisley's daughter first, but simply Savannah. Her best friend, Erin, leaned across the table. So you're really doing this? You're just gonna pick up and leave? Savannah smirked, though her eyes betrayed the weight of the choice. It's not just about leaving. It's about starting something new. I can't keep living in a city where every grocery store run turns into a Q&A about my parents. In truth, she'd already taken steps. Her skincare line was thriving, and she'd recently been in talks to expand her brand into luxury wellness retreats. The move would double as both a personal escape and a business opportunity. If she chose the right place, she could host influencers, fans, and wellness enthusiasts for a weekend of facials, nutrition workshops, and away from her parents. Physically and emotionally wasn't easy. Todd's voice echoed in her head during her nightly walks. "You're Chrisley, Savannah. Family sticks together." And he wasn't wrong. Savannah had been fiercely loyal, visiting them, handling legal matters, and making sure Chloe was okay. But loyalty didn't mean losing herself. The turning point came on a Wednesday afternoon when she received a letter from her mom. Julie's handwriting was neat and careful, each word deliberate. "Savannah, I love you more than you'll ever know, but you can't put your whole life on hold for us. I want you to chase every dream, even if it means we can't see each other as much right now. You're more than just our daughter. You're a force on your own." Savannah sat on her couch, the letter trembling in her hands, tears welling in her eyes. It felt like permission, the kind she didn't realize she'd been waiting for. Within a week, she was on a flight to Arizona to tour properties. One in particular stole her breath: a modern desert home on the edge of Scottsdale, with floor-to-ceiling windows that opened to mountain views. It had a sprawling kitchen, perfect for her cooking experiments, and a guest suite just right for Chloe when she visited. There was even a private home office where Savannah could record her podcast without the sound of traffic or the neighbor's lawnmower. Walking through the space, she could almost see it: a calmer, freer version of herself. She imagined mornings on the patio, sipping coffee as the desert air wrapped around her. No cameras, no gossip, no lingering eyes from people who recognized her from TV. But she also imagined the hard part: holidays spent away from the family home, birthdays over FaceTime, the guilt of not being physically present if something happened. It was a bittersweet vision, but one she knew she had to embrace. Her decision became official after a late-night phone call with Chase, her brother. "Savvy, you've been holding this family together for so long. If anyone deserves a fresh start, it's you. Mom and Dad will understand. We all will." A month later, moving trucks lined the driveway. Boxes labeled Savannah's and Chloe's toys stacked high. A mix of essentials and memories. Chloe clung to her, wide-eyed. "Does this mean you're never coming back?" she asked quietly. Savannah knelt down, brushing Chloe's hair back. "Of course I'll come back, but I need to build something new for us. Somewhere we can be happy without all the noise." The drive out of Tennessee was surreal. The roads she'd known her whole life slipped away behind her, replaced by open highways and endless possibility. As miles turned into states, the weight on her chest began to lift. By the time she reached Scottsdale, the sun was setting over the mountains, painting the sky in streaks of orange and purple. Standing in her new living room, barefoot, surrounded by unpacked boxes, Savannah felt something she hadn't felt in years: peace. That night, she lit a candle, poured herself a glass of wine, and sat by the window. She thought of her parents, of the family dinners, of the chaos and love that made up her life. She knew she'd never truly be away from them. Family was woven into her soul, but she was stepping into her own story now. The next morning, she woke early, threw on her sneakers, and jogged through her new neighborhood. No one recognized her. No one stopped her. She was just another woman in a tank top, running under the desert sky.